Good evening. This is Angry Hobbit coming to you from somewhere in the sticks. And today is our first installment of the new game from the Dark Parables series. I've been playing Dark Parables since, I don't know, a long time ago. Since I found their first installment, The Curse of the Briar Rose. And basically, Dark Parables to adventure hidden object games are the same as Once Upon a Time and Grimm are to TV shows. They take existing, fairly well-known fairy tales and sort of turn them on their heads. Sometimes they overlap several.
Poseidon, it should be
I'm
us
sorry,
ruling Olympus.
I think I launched the wrong game. Hold on a second. Let me escape. I accidentally hit something wrong. I hit my dark romance. So let's try this again. Here's my dark parable. Sorry, wrong window. It happens. Here it is. And I sort of got a chance with Dark Parables because I played the whole series. I played the whole progression, and I saw how the series developed and became sort of deeper, darker, more interesting. There are some common things in the games. The look of the game is very similar, even though they always present a bunch of different environments. They're incredibly detailed, and just the whole storyline is always very interesting. And again, they went from something very, very simple with Curse of the Briar Rose, even though it was not the traditional Sleeping Beauty story. They definitely kind of changed it. They moved on to the much darker and more twisted Frog Prince, and then it just kind of went on and on and on, with some very interesting twists on the Snow Queen and Cinderella. Cinderella was really good. Rapunzel. So some really fun ideas that they have explored. So Portrait of the Stained Princess is brand new. It just came out recently, and I don't actually know which fairy tale it's based on. So this is a surprise to me too. Most of the other ones, because I'm a huge reader, and even though I'm a grown-up, I read fairy tales all the time, and I watch fairy tale based movies and television shows. So I usually know what fairy tale it's based on, but this one is a puzzle to me. I don't actually know what it's based on. It has a swan right here in the game name, but there already was a game based on Swan Lake. So I don't think that's the same thing, so we'll just have to see what this is about. So here we go. Let's go. Let's play. So a word of kind of on the layout. This is pretty typical, and if you might have noticed, mine says collector's edition. I always get collector's edition. It's kind of my little indulgence. I love playing these types of games because they're beautiful and they offer an escape. I'm generally a very busy person with a very grown-up job, actually more than one grown-up job, and so this is an indulgence, and it's fun. And I love sort of the detail they put into the screen layout and everything. Love how that works. And again, the features are usually common, and I love having the bonus game because when I finish the game, I'm never quite ready to just kind of let go. I want that extra chapter and that extra chance to play with my characters. Because this is an indulgence for me, I usually just go for the casual game mode. I do cheat. I skip puzzles if I get bored with them, or if I'm just not seeing how a puzzle is supposed to work. And, don't judge. So I just get in there for the journey, for the story, for the adventure, and so casual is just fine for me. You know, I get my hints and so on. I'm definitely hearing a duck quacking, so let's just see what this is all about. Come on. One of the things that I always love in this game, you know, in addition to the setup detail, you know, the backdrops, the art, all of the characters have the absolutely fabulous hair, clothes, and bling. And while this is loading, so the premise is that you're this kind of interesting figure. You're the fairy tale detective. And it's not quite clear which time period you're in, but you get these assignments somehow magically delivered to you about something quite catastrophic going on somewhere. And that's the thing I also noticed as a progression from the early Dark Parables. It's that the consequences of whatever it is that's going on have gotten worse and worse and worse. So it went from like weird plants growing everywhere to potential disappearance of the world as we know it. So we'll see what this one is all about. Of course, there is this very, very ominous looking, creepy sort of castle with strange painted handprints on the door and some very, very creepy portraits. Some more paint on the stairs. And here's our princess. She's holding a little duck. A little creepy duck. Yeah, that'll mess you up. I can see how that would be a problem. And so this is our intro. This is pretty standard.
Welcome to Spain, Detective. Your task is to locate a missing man. About a month ago, 2 art apprentices snuck into some old castle ruins. Only one of them has returned, and he's still shaken up from it. They discovered the legendary painting, Princess with a Duckling, in the castle ruins. Suddenly, the princess stepped out of the portrait, capturing the missing apprentice. Since then, strange things have been reported around the castle. Specifically,
friendly, creepy landscape there
have been spreading from the ruins to the surrounding area. Other people, and even animals, have gone missing as well. One witness even saw a lady wandering around with a duckling in her arms. He described her as a phantom made of paint. According to our resources, the painting Princess with a Duckling is cursed.
Great.
It was modeled after the princess of a lost kingdom, Cisneros, who went missing 300 years ago. This wandering lady may be the missing princess. Either way, she's a key suspect in this mysterious case.
And I get thrown off my horse. So this is actually a pretty typical intro. This is happening every single time in a Dark Parables game. So have you noticed? So a couple of things. You and other characters are usually dressed in period clothes. You're wearing those nice leather gloves and you're riding a horse, but you have a tape recorder. And you have your notes to get your assignment. So weird. But so as you're riding into your whatever next location of your assignment, every time you get thrown off your horse. So by this point, considering there is like well over a dozen games, I've been thrown off this horse a lot of times, and I'm kind of getting tired of it. I'm like, can't we drug the horse? Considering you're sending me somewhere where something really creepy had happened, and we could have anything from, ghost, strange singing, environmental disasters. Can't we just like sedate the horse? Because I'm tired of getting thrown off the horse. And I'll be talking about the gameplay, and so we don't need the tutorial. So let's just get into it. So usually you do start quite often with a person, and you get that little kind of a talkie bubble there, and unless there's nothing you can do in the scene yet, unless you talk to him. So let's go talk to him.
Are you hurt? I didn't mean to frighten your horse.
Yeah, sure you
but
did.
I'm afraid I'm at the end of my wits here. I'm Benno, the one who called you. A couple of weeks ago, I snuck into this castle with my friend Siegfried, but I'm the only one that returned. I still get chills when I recall that day. The princess in that cursed portrait simply stepped out of the painting and took my friend.
Well, she probably really liked him.
She looked quite horrible, and shortly after that, the blood moon appeared. Everyone knows what a bad omen that is. Please, you must help me find him. Siegfried found a secret entrance hidden beneath an old tree, but now it's covered in roots. I hope you can figure it out. Wait, here, you dropped your bag when I frightened your horse.
Thank you. Fine. So now you can do things in the scene. You can look at things, and there's several things you're usually looking for. First of all, of course, you got your inventory. You see the plus sign hovering over my bag, which means there's something I can do with it. There's your hint. It doesn't look like we have our map yet, which means we're going to find our map in the course of the investigation of the scene. We have the magnifying glass up here where we can do something. And here is something else. So see how over here this thing keeps changing? That is a cursed object. So they usually appear in most of the scenes. They're morphing objects in other games. That's another name they go by. And you should sort of look for them. Normally, like I noticed this here on the gate cap. If I didn't see it right away, I probably would have clicked on the flags and maybe on this crest up here. Because that usually is a likely candidate. Ordinarily, I would say look at anything that looks sort of slightly out of place in the scene, and that is usually your cursed object. Okay, we got a knife. Something is missing here. And we have some kind of a piece here. Oh, that fell off. All right. Let's see what's in my bag. Oh, hey! Okay, that is so unfair. I am a detective. There should be tons of useful objects in my bag. I'm bummed now. All right. So, okay, something blocking the gate. I can't see it from this angle, which means that's what our mirror is for. There's a bar. All right, I need to find something to get to the bar. So let's see what we got here. We got vines. It says carving knife. Normally for the vines, I expect to find like pruning scissors, but let's try it. Ooh! Okay, I thought that was going to be for something else. Aha! So here's another thing. We just found a part of the parable. So see right here under our hint thing, it says parables. Parables are like stories behind the stories. So there's like, they enhance the storyline for you. They kind of offer an explanation of what might have happened in the past leading up to the story. And so it is a good thing when you collect these little pieces of parables. Eventually, when you get a certain number of them, you can read the parables. So if you open now, Ugly Duckling. So this is based on the Ugly Duckling. That is odd. Okay, that's very interesting. We'll see where this goes. But basically, see, all these pieces are missing, and we will eventually, hopefully, find them all in different scenes as we travel through them and be able to read the story. Okay, so I reckon this. So we have something missing here. A little symbol. And I think that cane is what gives us a tool to get rid of that pesky bar. Yep, here we go. So moving on. All right, so we have a creepy shadow on the wall. Always fun. And let us see what we have here. We have... I don't see anything changing its shape. Fine. And we have that. So we have this grimy thing. I'm wearing gloves. Technically, I should be able to just wipe off whatever this is, but fine. You know, that means I have to find something, some kind of a towel, rag, whatever, scrubbing brush, to clean this up. So I got a bunch of those, a newspaper talking about the portrait, and this is missing a key. This is typical. All these places are in a dreadful state of disrepair, and we're just gonna have to improvise to get somewhere. Oh, here's my brush. And I need to build a bridge. So let me see if my spears, yep, my spears are part of the bridge, but not all of it. So there's something else we're gonna find to finish up our bridge and cross to the next part. Okay, so some of these are shiny, some of them are not. Well, that was simple. Okay, so all we had to do here apparently is just light up all of the symbols. So this little emblem goes back into the woods where we just were to this thing. Here we go. And here's our key. Tower chest key. This is actually nice. So Dark Parables are very specific about the objects you find. You could have multiple keys in your inventory. And it very nicely tells you, this is the key to that thing over there. There are other games that just say, key. Well, I have like 5 different things that are locked up right at the moment. Which key is it? So this is kind of nice. This is good to have. Let's go see what's in our chest. Okay, we are missing something here. We have and we just found our map. So that's where a map is at. So map is pretty typical. You know, shows you, you know, you have a star. That means you have something to do. And it shows you where you're at right now. And it shows you where you have an objective. So as you can see, the objective sign is in the location we haven't opened yet. So happens all the time, pretty normal. And flag. I reckon the flag is to help us complete our bridge. It's a slightly disrespectful way to use a flag, but we haven't exactly got a Home Depot or Lowe's next door to get some lumber and build us a decent bridge, so that's what we're using. And now we can see there is a hidden object scene. So Dark Parable hidden object scenes are actually different from the traditional hidden object scene. It is true that they're filled with different things and objects, but normally right here at the bottom you would see a list of objects to find in a, you know, more traditional hidden object. Here it's more, it's not more complicated, it's different. They're not objects to find, they're pieces of an object you're assembling. And usually you need that for something else. And it's usually very beautiful and elaborate. So you just go and find these pieces. And so your object is actually split up into like these 3 major parts. And they start assembling themselves as you find the pieces. So let's go find the pieces. Since I played these games, not this specific one, but I've played a lot of Dark Parable games, I can pick out the pieces fairly easily. They kind of stand out to me. That says usually your first hidden object scene in the game is pretty simple. They get more complicated, messier as you move along. So I'm gonna go and just nail these guys. Is that it? And of course I'm getting my little achievements for, because I can see things that sort of stand out of the scene. There we go. Here's another one. And here it is. It's gonna go assemble itself. Okay, that is the thing that we need to put into the tree. So let's go and pop that in. And boom. Alright. Oh, I hate these. They just don't speak to me. They don't really. Alright. Let me see if I can figure this out. No. This one seems to have the most elements to it. No. The legs go differently. It's like that one goes there. The other one's gonna cover it? No. Is that gonna work? Nope, that didn't work. I'm gonna skip this. I understand what they're trying to do. I'm just not seeing it. Happens all the time. Don't judge.
You made it! Oh, yes, here. This is something Sig dropped. Perhaps it holds some important clues.
All right. If you say so.
If you do find the cursed painting, it should lead you to Siegfried. As for me, I dare not go inside again. Be careful, detective. If you do find the cursed painting, it should lead you to Siegfried.
So he has nothing else important to say. And now this is typical. So if you do encounter a person, which is not always the case, but if you do, they say, oh, you go fix things, detective. Risk your life. Go to creepy places and strange palaces. And I'm just going to stay here because I'm scared. Or some of them like invented tasks like, I'm going to stay here and guard your horse. Or I'm going to stay here and watch the door because it's so important. So, you know. Alright. And there's my creepy duck. Creepy little duckling. Doing something. Okay. So, let's look around and see what's going on here. Oh, I see our cursed object. It's that gray cat up there. Doesn't belong. See, like all the shells are filled with ducks, and there's that one kind of a weird looking cat. So let's see what we got here. Oh, here's another piece of our ugly duckling tail, and I reckon this little cart belongs to this guy. So we found a portion of something. Hidden drawer. Guess we'll find out what that's for. Ah! Something, frame decoration. I reckon somewhere we will be encountering a broken frame. And of course we are missing a piece of this kind of door unlocking contraption. They have very complicated ways of locking doors around here. They all do. And this guy has a portion of something, maybe two portions, not sure, but he's not gonna give it to us because he wants his armor decoration back. Fine. Okay, what's this? And, okay, we don't want to carry gravel in our pockets, so we're gonna have to find some kind of something to get us our gravel. Let's go. After the duckling. So here's the duckling leaving the messy little paint tracks after himself. And, so here's, I think this is where this belongs. Yes. Okay. But we're missing, looks like, other pieces, and we know the knight has one. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, another cursed object. And some very strange portraits. That is messed up. Look at these guys. Alright, we just threw something on the floor. That happens. We are going to wreak havoc. And I think we're going to need something, a scrubber, maybe a spatula or something, to get rid of the paint on the wall to see what's behind there. And that is a puzzle solution to something else. Oh, frame decoration. I think that goes here. Something. No idea where that goes. So, alright. Forgotten Promise. Yes, I'm sure somebody's holding a grudge. Let's see what we have here. We have satchel for a tailor's tool. Looks like we need like some kind of a little, like a almost sewing machine looking thing. Oh, right. And another broken lock. We can't unlock. So, let's go to this door. Aha! This, for once, we can fix. We have all the parts. All right. We are in. We have a little bit of an infestation situation going on here. So let's see what's going on. The flower that never withers. Does that do anything? It doesn't. We're missing a part of the ornament. Something. I guess. Yeah, that's the sheet music for the piano. So I guess once we open the piano, we'll figure out what to do with it. Somebody broke the letter and didn't repair it. This is typical of these creepy old castles. We're constantly fixing things from somebody who broke it. Aha! And one of the objects we picked up was the golden head ornament. So I think that's this one. There we go. Okay. This is missing a piece. Hey! Yeah, I agree. Give that back. Oh, crap. Okay, the clock is broken too. So we're gonna need to find the piece of the frame for the girl and some of the clock parts. It looks like one of the weights is missing and the pendulum is missing. And we still have to fix the, fix our ladder here. And I'm looking for anything that looks like a cursed object. I'm not seeing one. There might not be one. There's not always one. This is a very old adventure game habit, going back to the age when dinosaurs roamed the earth and Myst first came out, and Zork transitioned from being a text adventure to being a video game, you know, and Lighthouse and all of that. So that was a long time ago. So that's another piece. Oh, and there's our piano piece. But in those games, as you recall, two things did not exist. First of all, the maps did not exist. You had to draw your own maps on a piece of paper. And you didn't have a magnifying glass or a sparkly area to show you where you were supposed to look at things. So, out of habit, I just click on everything. I just can't help myself. I keep hoping to find something that maybe wasn't highlighted. Anyway, so here's this is a pretty straightforward puzzle. Just follow the directions. And it gives us another hidden object scene. Let's see what we got here. So, shoulder ornament. I reckon that's for our knight. and he is gonna give us something useful in return. So as I predicted, the hidden object scenes get messier and it gets harder to find bits and pieces of what you're looking for in this just sort of chaos. So, okay, this feathery thing is what I'm looking for. Here we go. Okay, I'm still missing a piece. Here we go. All right. Ooh, the knight has fabulous bling. Can I keep that? And here's our knight. Okay, so you can map hop, and you do get little swift feet achievement, for hopping the map. I find it pretty handy. Eventually, when your map gets pretty big, couple of things. In this game, it tells you if you have something to do. It's shown by a star. In some games where you have special objects like a morphing object and some other, special to collect coins, sometimes it's some other small tokens, sometimes it's portraits of the characters in the game. It will also show you a little symbol on top of the scene saying, hey, you forgot to pick something up, go look. So happens here. It just shows you if you have something to do, but that's plenty helpful. I'm fine with that. And he gave us a portion of the gates. So okay, so he's still missing a portion of his armor we're gonna have to find. All right, let us go and see if we can finally open this door. Okay, so I think is that all we have to do? Yep. So apparently we had to just assemble a lock and click reds and blues on it. Fine. That's pretty simple. Pretty straightforward. So let's go in the big hall. What have we here? Okay. Oh. Okay. So what this means is I cannot get anywhere else in this room until I clear the ravens. So let me hover around. Oh, shut up, you stupid birds. Oh! Got something. And got a portion of something. So we will probably be looking for the bits and pieces for this lock, because it looks like, judging by the symbols on here and the symbols over the doors, it eventually opens these doors. So this is for that. Aha. Tankard. Okay. What is that good for? Have something to do in the secret passage. Okay. Don't have that yet. Don't have that yet. Is that what this is for? Huh. Oh! Okay. Alright. So this is a pretty typical solution for a bird problem, and it's not just the ravens. Anytime you have some kind of pesky birds, I think I've seen this done with ravens, with pelicans, with... Actually, even with... Not with birds, with bats. You create some kind of a noise device, or you find some kind of a noise device to scare them away. So that's what that's for. You create like a rattle, some kind of rattle thing. Okay, we're still not done with the clock. So we are gonna have to go back to the hole. Let's see what we can do by scaring the birds. Come on. Yep. Bye. Nice to see you. So, okay, so this is locked. This has, what is that? It's a sigil. It needs something else. Okay. Okay. Well, I have a strong feeling that I'm gonna have to lift the curtain. Sooner or later. Anybody else got that feeling? I got that feeling. We're gonna have to lift the curtain. And yeah, the door is locked. So we found the clock pendulum. Let's go finish fixing the clock. As I recall, that was the only thing that was still missing on the clock. Alright. Finally! Thank you! See? Was that hard? I'm surprised we still have like this golden beak here. I have no idea what this is for, but we clearly haven't found whatever this is for. Not that surprising. One of the Margrave games had a red rose in it. You find like in the first 5 minutes of the game, and you don't use it until the final scene, so it sits in your inventory. It just sits there for like the whole entire game. So it happens. All right, I guess our scissors are for cutting open the rope around the painting. All right, let's see what we can do here. Okay. Yikes. Hey, that's not nice. Lady, that was not ladylike. Okay, so what is this for? Does it do anything? Oh, and we are done with chapter 1. Okay, nothing. There's nothing. I can just pick it up and look at it, but it doesn't do anything. Okay, what's that? Hey! Okay, I know what this is for. Paint remover. That is to remove our paint down in the hallway where we have... Hey! Okay, that is seriously not cool. Stop throwing stuff. Wow, that is, and again, I can't do anything with it. I can just pick it up and look. Oh, let's see what we can do here. That's a really fancy paint remover bottle. You know, if our paint remover came in those bottles, like paint remover sales would skyrocket just for the bottles. All right, so that is the wing decoration we were missing for her. Aha! Finally! We found Secret's pendant, and we can open his diary. Okay. Is that it? Hey! That's... Is there anything else useful? And it went away. That means there was nothing else we could do with that object? I feel so cheated. We went through this whole entire thing just now, and that's all we got. That is a bummer. I'm bummed. Are you bummed? I'm bummed. Alright. Okay. We have something to do in the secret passage. Let's go look what we've got to do. Oh! It's the crest for this thing. Alright. I see what you mean. Alright. So... I see. So what they're wanting us to do is put the birds in the sky, the wolf and the fox in the forest, the frog goes in the water, and the ant and the snake sort of go into the ground. So let's put... Okay, so that's them. Now, okay, we'll have to swap those. Okay. There we go. Okay. What have we here? Okay, that means we're gonna need to be looking for something long, a spear, a hook, a rock, something to dislodge that thing from up there. Do I have anything changing its shape? I do not see any morphing objects. I see the 2 flags. Can I do anything with them? No, I can't. Alright. Oh! There's another portion of our parable. That's it. That's all there was. And somebody headed in for the king. So, since this is a crossbow bolt and there's a crossbow on the table, well, clearly, okay, we're missing a crossbow part. In addition, we're missing bits and pieces. Who runs this place? Everything is in a horrible state. Ladder boards. Okay, at least we can go fix the ladder. So let's go fix the ladder. Alright. We're not gonna nail that? Okay. That's a legitimate question. So some of the games are more detailed than others. And ladder happens a lot. Broken ladder, that happens a lot. So some games need you to not just find the boards, they need you to also find the nails and the hammer to fix this. So that happens a lot. So here's a shoulder ornament. That's for our knight. Let's go back and see what he's got. There he is. Hey! Alright, there's some dribbling paint on our cart. And a lesson in not approaching strange wagons again? Key. Scabbard key. Scabbard key. Why would you lock a scabbard? So I guess you really don't want to give up your sword. You lock it up. Okay, crossbow parts. So I guess that's it. That's for us to fix the crossbow finally. What just happens? Yeah. Somebody made a mess through the armory. Alright, let's fix that crossbow. Let's get that thing off the rafters. There we go. Apparently I'm a really good shot. Didn't know that? Good to know. Ah, and that is why we need the scabbard key. So this gives us one of the swords to open one of the doors in the Great Hall. Let's go there. And she must have been running around. Lady, you threw a portrait at me. I'm not playing anymore. Don't come closer, I'll whack you with a candelabra. Okay, but she dropped something for me to pick up, and we're at the end of chapter 3. I'm sorry, at the beginning of chapter 3, end of chapter 2. Painting case token. So I guess that's something we'll be opening in the future. And here's the sword key. Alright, so we just popped open this room. I'm gonna look around before I hop into that hidden object scene. Oh, we got something stuck. We are missing a king's ornament. Somebody says the king brought about the curse. What the heck did the king do? Oh, found another cursed object. Got this. Ah, so this is the painting case. Okay, so Okay, this is one of those where you just have to press them until they all stick. Okay, mended her face. I've got a knife. Let's see what's going on there. Incomplete sword key. God, these are hard to see. These are really hard to see. I'm struggling to pick up in this mess. And this is a very messy scene, as you can see. There. Okay, where are these skinny pieces? I hate those. They're like cleverly disguised as, well, something else. Oh, there it is. There's our incomplete sword key. Why is it incomplete? Who broke it? Ah! That's... okay, that's the little thing missing from it, and I guess that is what we had to use to pop it out. So let's pop that in. Yay! And we just fixed it. So let's go back. Oh, that's what they mean by patching her face. Alright, so here we have a problem. If one door is open, the other one closes. So that's why we need 3 swords, because apparently the third one keeps all of them open at the same time. And I'm wondering if they were inspired by the movie Brave, where you had to stitch up a tapestry to fix the situation. Alright, so what is going on? Here's my little creepy duckling. Hey, dude, where'd you go? Little jerk. Do I have... oh, I did have a cursed object there. I have a very mossy statue head here. That is a nod to the Cursed Prince. All of the Dark Parable games contain some sort of creature, object, or multiple creatures and objects that remind you of the other games. So you might see a Cinderella's slipper, you might see the frog, to remember the Frog Prince. So that's very, very typical. So something missing here. Hey! Finally, the use for our golden beak that we've been carrying around since the start of the game. What is this thing? A theater theme? Okay. Okay, that makes you come out. They say hi. No. Ah! We got the sunset. Okay, we have 1 heart. We have our carriage. And the duckling. Okay, ring number 1. Ring number 2. Ah, okay, that makes sense. So this is how the king had brought the curse upon the kingdom. He lied that his daughter had been disfigured because he didn't want her to marry this kid. He lied. I guess he was unhappy. Okay, why did he take it out on her? He should have taken it out on the king. The king was the one who lied. And it looks like we have finished one of the parables. We finished the ugly duckling. So let's go see what goes on here. Alright, so this tells us basically the story of their meeting. And the poor, emotionally scarred duckling. Aww. All right. So here is the story. We have the story now. And here's our little fiddle. So, hey, that comes out. Oh. Oh. Okay, so basically, what this tells me is I can't take this. This is a sword locked for something else. I can't take it. I have to find something else. And it looks like that guy has something. Alright, let me see. So here's our little, where we needed our little fiddle thing. Alright. And we have another hidden object. Let's see what we have here. We are looking for the tower key. And again, the parts are getting smaller. The scenes are getting messier and things are getting harder to find. They kind of don't quite stand out as much. So what else do I need? I need that shiny little thing. Hang on a sec. And while I cheat at puzzles, like all the time, I hate taking hints when doing hidden object scenes. So I really would prefer to find these things myself. Okay, so this is supposed to look like a duck. I see this one. Did anybody else see what looks like a duck? Oh, this is gonna drive me nuts. This is where I like get frustrated and start clicking everywhere. So, hang on a sec. Where is it? Oh, don't tell me I'm gonna have to use a can for this. Ah, there he is. He was disguised as a tassel. Wow. That was, it was really well hidden. I'll give you that. Okay, tower key. So that is finally letting us out into that door. Wow. Okay. We can't cross. So these guys are in charge of the crossing. This is missing its frame. This is missing its crest. Let's see what we can do here. And my cat decided to join me. Hey, you want something to... Apparently you don't want something to eat. He's just gonna lower this thing for me. Okay. Let's go. There we go. Ha! There's the frame for the other... coat of armor. Okay. Alright. And I guess that is where we have to hang something, specifically the portrait. Okay. Steel brush. Oh! Okay, that's for scrubbing the dirt of that head in the pond. Come on. Oh. Well. Jam and wall X. Hang on a second. Where was that thing we're missing? No, that's the atrium. Oh, I can't switch that. Okay. So I can only do something in the atrium. Well. Ah! Okay. No, that's not gonna work. Okay, so that lowers and raises his arm. That gives me the wooden sword blade so that I could make a fake sword to replace the real one. Makes sense. Alright. Let's go back. So, we get this one. And we put this one in its place. And now we can leave. There we go. And now everything is open. Alright, that makes sense now. So now we restore the king's crown and we get a puzzle. Shouldn't be very hard. Come on. Where's the rest of her face? There it is. There's her elbow. She's holding something. Let's see. There we go. Oh, there's the corner. Let's see, what else have we got here? There we go. Making progress. Is that right? Yes. There we go. Okay. That. And... oh, hang on a second. Looks like I messed something up. I swapped two pieces. There we go. That's better. Alida. Apparently the duckling's name is Alida, so now we know. I don't know if it's gonna be useful for anything. It actually could be. It could be a password eventually in the future for something. Sewing kit. Okay, that's for fixing the portrait. That much we know. Let's fix her up. piece of cake.
Thank you, Detective. I can barely gather the strength to talk. By now, it must be clear to you how dire my situation is. I know there's so much to explain right now, but please, you must bring me to the castle keep. There's something there I must show you.
Okay. Let's grab the portrait. And let's go to the keep. And pop her over there.
I'm so grateful for your kindness, both for repairing my portrait and listening to my words. However, I'm afraid we're running out of time, so I can't explain everything right now. You've already seen the blood moon. If it rises above the islet rock before I manage to find the water of life, the world as we know it will cease to exist. You see, the eternal darkness shall devour everything. I'm so close to finding the solution. I just need you to take my place.
Whoa! Who is this guy? Yikes. That was rude. Not to mention, rather unexpected. Okay. Whew. And we are at the end of chapter 3. So I think this is a good place to stop. We're gonna pause here. And resume some other evening. This is definitely unexpected. You do get thrown about a bit in Dark Parables, but this was definitely a surprise. And again, they upped the disaster, so it's, darkness devouring the world and, disappearance of the world as we know it. So we are just gonna pop over back to the menu and, get some rest before we start figuring out how to save the world. In the meantime, I am wishing all of you a very good evening, and I shall see you next time.